Okay, gentlemen and ladies, let's take notes on how to multiply integers, specifically positive, negative numbers. So multiplying integers. So set up your notes just like we did. We're going to be going through 4 examples. We're going to look at a positive times a positive times a negative times a positive, and a negative times a negative. We're going to look at all 4. So let's start with a positive times a positive. Let's do 4 times 3. So what that means is I have 4 groups of positive 3 that I'm adding in. That's a positive 4 and a positive 3. So that's 4 groups of 3. So I'm going to put 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. And you already know this. You've learned this before. I'm just reviewing it so you can see how we build on it. So 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, that gives us 12. So a positive times a positive is going to be a positive number. But now let's try 4 groups of negative 3. So what that means is I'm going to put negative 3, I'm going to add it in 4 times. So if I have 3 negatives, if I drew this as a visual, 1, 2, 3, and I'm adding in 3 negatives, and I'm adding in 3 negatives, and I add in 3 negatives, you can see I'm coming up with a total of 12 negatives. See? Because I'm adding all of those in. Now let's try a negative 4 times positive 3. So now I'm removing a 3. I am removing a 3. Removing 3 and removing a 3. So this is the same as this. Removing 3, removing 3, removing 3, removing 3. I'm also going to get negative 12. And now let's try our last one. Removing negatives. So the way I would write that is I'm removing negative 3. Removing negative 3. Removing negative 3. Removing negative 3. So if I am removing negatives, remember my 0 pairs. If I remove a negative, that leaves me with a positive. So if I remove 3 negatives, that'll leave me with 3 positives. This will leave me 3 positives. If I keep doing that, I'll end up with positive 12. So you can see, this gives me a positive number. This gave me a negative number. This gave me a negative number. This gave me a positive number. So the short way of looking at this, if I have an even number of negatives, my answer is positive. So what I mean by that is if I take negative 2 times, let's say, negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 2, see how I have 1, 2, 3, 4 negatives? So I know that my answer is positive. Similarly, if I have an odd number of negatives, then my answer is negative. So just to put that back into our examples, see here, I have no negative, I have 0, so that's why I get a positive. Here I have 1 negative, which is an odd number, so that's why I got negative. This is an odd number of negatives. Here's an even number of negatives, because there's 2. So an odd number of negatives, such as with the problem negative 8 times negative 3 times negative 4. See here there are 3 negatives, which means this gives me an answer that is negative. So those are your notes. Like I said, you can rewind and look back at it if you need to. I want you to do a summary. Just put in your example problems. I'll do simple numbers for your multiplying to tell me what this equals. Negative 2 times 4 times 3. Think about how many negatives are there, and therefore solve it and tell me what your answer is. Negative 4 times 8 times negative 2 times negative 1. Negative 4 times negative 6. Let's do one more, just for fun. 5 times negative 2. Okay, those are your 4 problems, gentlemen, ladies. You have your summary as well. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, good luck. Have a good time.